In the gritty underbelly of organized crime, two titans ruled their territories: Tony Soprano in New Jersey and Dwight Manfredi in Tulsa. Though separated by miles, their paths were destined to collide in a fierce battle for dominance, igniting a crime war that would shake both their worlds. Chapter 1. The spark. Tony Soprano, the ruthless boss of the North Jersey DeMeo crime family, had expanded his operations into new territories, eyeing the lucrative drug market in Oklahoma. Meanwhile, Dwight Manfredi, recently released from prison, was establishing his own empire in Tulsa, using his street smarts and charisma to gain respect and power. The tension began when Tony's crew attempted to set up a drug deal in Tulsa, unaware of Manfredi's growing influence. Dwight saw this as a direct threat to his newfound territory, and he wasn't about to let it slide. After a tense meeting with his crew, he decided to send a message to Tony: a bold attack on the out-of-town dealers. Chapter 2. Blood on the streets. The attack was swift and brutal. Dwight's men ambushed the deal, leaving several of Tony's associates in the hospital. News of the incident reached Tony quickly. Enraged, he called a meeting with his capos, plotting revenge. His reputation was on the line, and he couldn't show weakness to either his associates or rival families. Tony dispatched a hit squad to Tulsa, tasked with taking out Dwight and sending a clear message. But Dwight was no rookie. He fortified his defenses and prepared for an inevitable confrontation. The stakes were escalating, and both sides began to draw lines in the sand. Chapter 3. The Showdown. As the weeks passed, tensions boiled over. Each side executed strategic strikes, ambushes, sabotage, and intimidation tactics. The streets of Tulsa became a battleground, filled with the echoes of gunfire and the scent of betrayal. In a daring move, Dwight lured Tony's men into a trap, resulting in heavy losses for Tony's crew. Feeling the pressure, Tony decided it was time to confront Dwight directly. He arranged a meeting under the guise of negotiation, hoping to catch Dwight off guard. But Dwight, ever cautious, saw through the ruse and prepared for a fight. Chapter 4. The Final Conflict. The meeting took place at an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of Tulsa. Tensions were palpable as both sides faced off. Words were exchanged, but it quickly escalated into violence. Gunfire erupted and chaos ensued. Tony's men were fierce, but Dwight's crew was fueled by their loyalty to him and their desire to protect what they had built. The battle raged on, with both sides suffering casualties, but Dwight, ever resourceful, executed a strategic maneuver that turned the tide in his favor. Chapter 5. The Aftermath. In the end, it was Dwight Manfredi who emerged victorious. Amid the chaos, he managed to corner Tony, forcing him into a precarious position. With the weight of his empire on the line, Tony had no choice but to retreat, acknowledging Dwight's dominance in Tulsa. With Tony's withdrawal, Dwight solidified his control over the city, expanding his operations and reputation as a formidable crime lord. The war had left scars on both sides, but in the brutal world of organized crime, it was the survival of the fittest. Epilogue. A new era. As Dwight surveyed his territory, he knew that while he had won this battle, the war of crime was never truly over. He had gained respect, power, and a place in the annals of crime history. Meanwhile, Tony returned to New Jersey, licking his wounds and plotting his next move, vowing never to underestimate his rivals again. In this brutal game of power and betrayal, Dwight Manfredi stood tall, the clear winner of the Tulsa Turf War. But in the world of crime, the only constant was change, and both men would forever be cautious of each other's shadow. If you enjoyed this short story, hit that like button and subscribe to the Plan and Wave for more awesome content.